Okay. Um, let's see. Eurogamer. I like looking at Eurogamer. Um, and Dragon's Dogma 2. God, Dragon's Dogma. It's been better than people have given it credit for, I will say, like before release, of course. Um, some more people are liking it than they thought they would. All right, but before that, meal of the day, food of the day. Oh, yeah, I gotta flip this quickly because of condensation. All right, nice, we got it. Meal of the day. This is a classic on the channel here. Went to the Asian place and I got some white rice and we got some pepper steak, black pepper steak. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a good meal. It is a very good meal. We got our high quality cafeteria. Share, unfortunately not. I'm hungry as shit. We got our high quality cafeteria chopsticks that I stole like 2 months ago. I still got a few left. They switched back, unfortunately, so I'm trying to make these last as much as I can. Alright. Put that there. I'm gonna move the mic a little to the side. Delicious. Delicious water. Okay. And let me not get my keyboard a shitload. Eating ASMR? No, no, no. It's not. I swear to God, it's not just gonna be eating the entire time. Here we go. All right. So we got some PS5 Pro stuff. I've been hearing a little bit about this. I haven't heard an insane lot. I haven't heard an insane amount of information. I did hear one thing about the CPU or like the chip or something being the same as the regular PS5, which is I don't know. I mean, it's a PS4 Pro, so I think everybody's kind of expecting it to be, you know, beefier, being able to run better, maybe a little more storage with it. So hearing that the chip is going to be the same as the original PS5, that's a little scary to hear. All right. So, oh god, there's a lot of shit. Here we go. We got a spec list. Okay, so it looks like the Pro has another clock speed. A 3.85 clock speed, which that can be pretty good. You know, it's decent. Or decent. That's better. GPU has got 60 Cs with RNDA 3. I got no clue what the fuck that means. Higher numbers means better, I'm assuming. We got 33.5 teraflops over the 10.23 in the original PlayStation 5. So it's about 3 times better. I'm assuming TBC means to be calculated. But it looks like that the GPU clock speed is lower. I don't know if a lower clock speed is good. I'm assuming it's not. But it's not that bad. It's only 0.05 less. So it's not an insane jump, which okay. It looks like we're gonna have a little bit more DDR6 memory. Or it's 16 gigabytes at 18 gigabits per second. Okay, so we got a little bit faster runtime. More memory for games, about another 1.2 gigabytes. That's nice. And memory interface. We got, what's that? Another 120 something? Another 128, I think. No, another 128 gigabytes per second on memory interface and bandwidth. I don't know. I already have a PS5 Slim, So I'm not getting a PS5 Pro. The only way I'm getting a PS5 Pro is if I start making fucking bank in the future somehow, and I can have money to throw away into buying every console. That is a goal of mine. That is a goal of mine, is to hopefully have enough money in the future, like when I'm older, to just throw away money into being able to buy every single console. But like, I already have a PS5, so a PS5 Pro, unless I'm planning on going pro, I doubt I'm gonna be getting it. I'm probably just gonna stick to my Slim with my one terabyte of storage. Thank you very much. Remains with an optional 10% speed increase. Okay. And it looks like this is just going to be about a bunch of computer stuff that right now I don't want to look at. Right now, I don't really care about it because it's going to be talking about a lot of stuff that I probably don't understand. Oh yeah. And here's what I was talking about earlier with the God of War that was being goddamn $120. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's insane. Absolutely insane. Okay. Dragon's Dogma 2. I heard a little bit more about this. Give me a sec. Let me take a few bites. Mm. Mm. Delicious. Okay. I heard a little bit, like, all my news comes through TikTok pretty much. But I saw a bunch about how on PlayStation it's running pretty well. It's still running at like that 30 frames per second. Or no, I think it was how consoles actually have better FPS, but PCs, even like people who have beasts of a PC, like latest graphics cards, latest CPUs, and everything, like 128 gigs of RAM, which is very unneeded, but I'm still gonna try and get that at some point. But like people with those like kinds of builds are still only hitting 30 FPS on Dragon's Dogma. Apparently, it runs worse on PC than on console, which is actually really funny in my opinion. It's pretty funny. And sad at the same time, of course. Also very sad. Oh. Almost lost my meat. Pause. Rewind time. Okay. Hmm. I also gotta pull it up. Steam. I'm gonna pull it up on Steam because there was another thing here about it. There it is. Let me see. Hello? You gonna load? Okay. Here we go. I think if I just scroll down, it'll be somewhere in here. No? It's not on the front. Not on the front page? Ooh, Battlefield. Oh no, I already have Battlefield 2042 on Xbox. Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother, for getting that. Thank you, brother. Fucking sketch impressions. That's right, brother. Dragon's Dogma 2. Absolutely shit, brother. Sorry for cursing. Alright. I guess I gotta search it up. Dragon's Dogma 2. There we go. Birthday. We're hiding this shit. I also have to make sure I'm putting in the right birthday because I made this account when I was a little tyke. Yep, okay. I made this account back when I was like maybe 13, so I put in that my birth year was like 1996. So I had to remember that because I don't think I can change that year without making a whole new account, and I can tell you right now I'm not making a whole new account for this. I already got all my games. I already did the Steam DB thing to get all the free games in the world. Was a bad idea, but you know what? I got games. I got games on my phone. Okay. So, I'm going to scroll down here a little. We got the deluxe edition, which I don't remember what exactly comes in it. We got a little bundle here, a boon for adventure, which, what actually comes in this? Okay, this is everything that comes in it, which has been a huge uproar thing, is all of this shit. This isn't paid DLC. It's not technically DLC in the terms of it's going to give you new content for the game. It's more of they are microtransactions. They're just not the conventional microtransaction where like you buy them from an in-game store. No, you buy them from the Steam store. Microtransaction. And I can tell you right now, I'm not puzzled. I'm not trying to say puzzled. I'm kind of flippant on this with Dragon's Dogma 2. Because on one hand, microtransactions, like these microtransactions, you get all of this stuff in-game. I think the only thing you don't get in-game is the... Where is it? The music and sound collection, obviously. And I think the character editor, which I'll talk about that in a minute, and probably the warp location marker. Everything down here, I'm pretty sure you can just get in game. Everything up here, I don't know. You might not get that in game. That might be an actual paid DLC thing. But like you get all this in the game, and they're pretty cheap. They're like that is one nice thing about this is that they're doing it, yes, and that's kind of scummy, but this stuff is only like $3, $1 to $3. Highest thing being $5, and that's for like the in-game currency stuff. I'm assuming that's in-game currency. So is it absolutely terrible? No. Is it annoying? I'd say yeah, because it's like, do I really need microtransactions for this? Do we really need microtransactions for a single player game where you're just playing through, you can get all this stuff already in game? It's not like regular Fortnite Battle Royale where you can't get V-Bucks outside of like the Battle Pass. So if you really want to actually buy the skins and stuff, you're gonna need to buy V-Bucks. It's more of in a way of Fortnite Save the World, where you get the currency in game, you get everything in game already if you work for it. But if you wanted to make it a little bit easier, you can just pay for it. Like in Fortnite and Save the World, there are missions that you can do V-Bucks to get. I think like I know base defenses give you 100 V-Bucks. Depending on the day, there will be some missions that give you like 30 V-Bucks or something. It's not a lot, and that's kind of why it incentivizes people a little bit to be like either grind a shitload of missions and storm defenses or just go buy a bunch of V-Bucks. But you can do either or. You can either put in the work or you can skip all of it and just pay. Which I think is okay. I think it's an okay method. I think it's a little bit understandable from a business. Let's not make a way for us to lose money or not to gain money, but at the same time, let's make it so the player can actually not feel like they have to buy this stuff. So on those fronts, you know what? I can be okay with that. Okay, shut up. Another thing, though, I just mentioned it before, is where is it? The character editor. This game only allows for one save. One save. I think I remember seeing something about the developers trying to make it so you can get multiple saves or something like that. But you can only get one save, and I'm pretty sure it saves to the company's server. So it's not saved on your local machine. I think that's what it is. Kind of like how Fortnite does it, where it saves all your locker and stuff to their servers, instead of to a save file on your console. Which again, for a single player game, I think that's a dumb decision, if that's actually how it works. Because it's a single player game. The only online element that you're getting out of it, as far as I know, I have not played the game. I haven't really actually seen much of the game. I'm just going based off what I know currently. So if I fuck some stuff up, apologies. But if it is strictly a single player game, and the most online you can do is buying shit, maybe like buying these microtransactions, then not having your save file on your console feels dumb and weird. And only being able to have one save file, because like you can even see here, the only time you can actually change your character in an RPG is if you buy the character creator. So not only can you only have one character, and you can't change, it's a little weird, in my opinion. Because in normal RPGs, obviously you can't really change your physical character. You can only change like their outfits and stuff. But normally you can have another save file. So if you want, you can just start it up again, and you can switch between your playthroughs with different characters. This one only has one save file. So if you want to change your character, you're like halfway through and you're like, well, shit, now I really don't like this character. Or you got to delete the whole save. You can't come back ever. Can't come back ever if you restart, of course. Which, again, pretty stupid. I will say, letting there be a character editor at the very least is a good idea in this sense, and it only being $2, it's not insanely terrible. But the fact that you have to pay for it, or the fact that they're making you pay for it, I would have rather them just say no, you can't, instead of making me pay for it. Because then it is just a cash grab at that point. In my opinion, my humble opinion. Little sucky, little scummy. Yeah, it's interesting, to say the least. Let's see. Oh yeah, and Princess Peach came out today, didn't it? Shit. Let me not throw oh yay, condensation all over my desk, or my mouse pad. Princess Peach Showtime. I want to look at a review for it, because I am interested on on how people think the game is, because it's not a game for me. It's obviously not targeted towards people like me. We'll go to IGN. I mean, IGN's not the best, but you know what? It's something. Yeah, here we go. Not that. No, I don't want the hour long. Give me the 9-minute review.
If Captain Toad tracks treasure, Luigi goes after ghosts, and Wario makes money off his microgames, what would Princess Peach do in a spin-off of her own? Princess Peach Showtime's answer is that she can do pretty much anything. One moment she's a superhero, saving the world from an alien invasion as the epic Mighty Peach. The next, she's in Disney on Ice, with figure skater Peach's elegant routines and synchronized skating. This constant variety and delightfully original stage play aesthetic help lift Showtime up, even when its otherwise simple gameplay and inconsistent performance could have used a few more rehearsals before opening night. Peach's first solo outing in nearly 2 decades may not earn a standing ovation, but I still
Okay. So this was something that I mean, we all kind of knew going in, about how Peach, it was going to be kind of her being able to do all these different things. I remember hearing one theory about it being she wasn't actually doing these. This is all like a stage play, because she's like, she's the princess, so super rich, so, or probably richer than the average person. So she paid to get this whole play thing constructed, and you go through the different sets, playing through them, so she can have like her own adventure type thing. That's just a theory I heard. Of course, I'm not. I don't think that's. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's the actual thing for this game. But yeah. You know what? You know what I should do? I should switch this to just chatting. I should switch this to just chatting for now. There we go. I'll leave the tags alone since I'm probably going to switch it back to God of War in a minute. Oh. I got it. Okay. So, yeah. Oh my god. There we go.
Had a nice time at the show. Showtime takes place entirely within the Sparkle Theater, a can't-miss destination for
Never mind about my theory thing. I genuinely didn't know that it was that this is how they were doing it. I genuinely didn't know. I genuinely thought it was like a theory thing. I didn't actually think that I genuinely didn't think that that's how the game was gonna be.
thespians and theatergoers in the Mushroom Kingdom. Apart from the pair of toads that accompany the princess on her quickly disrupted vacation, Showtime forgoes everything else familiar about the world of Mario, instead introducing new antagonist Grape and her wicked sour bunch.
So maybe I'm half right? Or half wrong?
While the Sour Bunch and the Theet, the friendly inhabitants of the Sparkle Theater, feel a little bit generic, it's refreshing to see a Peach-focused adventure entirely removed from the main series trappings of Bowser kidnappings, flagpoles, and super mushrooms. Nintendo has given Peach ownership of something wholly original in the same way that Luigi's Mansion 3 gave Mario's brother his own identity, and I sincerely hope this is just the start of an ongoing series for our princess. Showtime excels in its admirable commitment to that stage play look and feel. Every level really leans into the idea that this whole adventure is taking place inside a theater, and the results are incredibly charming and memorable. A spotlight is always shining on Peach, which looks especially cool during levels like this that take place at night. All of the backgrounds look like hand-built wooden sets you'd see in a high school play, some enemies are held up by puppet strings, and sometimes the whole stage rotates 180 degrees to give the illusion of entering a brand new room without the camera angle changing.
Okay, so I was kind of half right with that whole theory about it. It is technically on it's not on a stage technically, but the game is played as if you're on a stage. Okay, then that makes more sense.
These delightful touches make Showtime a joy to play through even when the things you're actually doing on that stage aren't always as compelling. Nintendo is clearly targeting a younger audience here. Peach can take a whopping 5 hits, or 8 if you equip the optional heart charm that's available from the very start.
Oh my god, that's an easy shit.
Before getting a game over screen. Puzzles, platforming, and combat are generally very simple, and the basic control scheme primarily relies on just 2 buttons. I failed only one time throughout the entire adventure to a mildly challenging late-game boss, but nail-biting difficulty is far from the point here. Instead, it feels like Showtime is designed to let you try out a ton of different video game genres in one straightforward, kid-friendly package, and it mostly succeeds at that. Across Showtime's roughly 8-hour campaign, you'll find multiple stages for each of Peach's 10 transformations. Nintendo is really good at picking the right character to pair with a new concept, and this character is an awesome choice to play these different roles. Her costume design is great for each and every one, from the Zorro-esque dashing thief to the classic investigator look of Detective Peach, and it's fun to see her do brand new things we haven't seen in a Mario game before.
Okay. I meant to pause this earlier and say it. I started saying it in my head, and then I'm just like, oh shit, I should say it out loud. I do think it is really cool that it's obviously aimed at a younger audience. And I do think that it is pretty cool that it's doing all these different types of gaming genre. Not genres, but types. Like, you have your platformers, you have your running guns. I don't think it's not called running guns. Your FPS games. You have your puzzle games. You have, your different types of games. I can't think of them off the top of my head. Your RPGs, your MMOs, your open world explore games. yada yada, stuff like that. I do think that it is pretty cool, and I think it helps. Well, not helps. It can help get children interested in different types of games, because maybe they only play like these Mario platformer games, or maybe Mario Odyssey and those ones. So they maybe only know some of those games, but maybe this will get them into a bit of a different genre. They might see like a puzzle game and they'll be like, ooh, maybe that's nice. If they haven't played Breath of the Wild, I mean, they're gonna love Breath of the Wild. Then shitload of puzzles in that game. But yeah, it's pretty. I like it. It's pretty neat.
Favorite transformation is probably going to depend on your preferred game genres, and that's a credit to how well Showtime streamlines recognizable ideas for beginners. I'm a massive Ace Attorney fan, so naturally I loved solving mysteries as Detective Peach, where I got to examine crime scenes for evidence and call out witnesses on their lies. Ninja Peach puts a fun spin on a stealth game. She holds up wooden disguises to blend into tall grass and breathes underwater using an adorable bamboo chute while she tiptoes around and sneak attacks her enemies. I also had a great time baking desserts as Patisserie Peach, where it's a race against the clock to decorate cakes as accurately and efficiently as possible to get a high score. Other highlights include grapple hooking around a Mission Impossible-like heist as Dashing Thief Peach, and playing out a classic Wild West chase as Cowgirl Peach. None of it's very challenging, but the simple nature of it all makes it easy to constantly swap gameplay styles without having to remind yourself of complex control schemes or combos. For those who want to master a specific transformation, rehearsal challenge levels ask you to defeat a certain number of enemies in a limited amount of time without taking a hit, offering a nice bit of added optional difficulty if you're looking for it. Not all transformations are created equal, though. I did not enjoy the Mermaid Peach sections, which culminate in a rhythm game that doesn't control very well. The 5 combat-focused transformations can sometimes blend together too, especially with the pushover enemies, so I was a much bigger fan of the less button-mashy sections that instead centered on cake decorating, figure skating, or investigating. Great boss design is one of Showtime's strong suits. The first Sword Fighter Peach level wraps up with a fight against a giant plant right out of Little Shop of Horrors, and Kung Fu Peach's levels end in one-on-one brawls that are pretty much just quick-time events, but they're certainly fun to look at. I love the levels where a new transformation is first introduced. Peach arrives at the scene of a new play, either in her iconic pink dress or one of the many cute variations you can buy at the theater gift shop, and is quickly familiarized with the setting, characters, and conflict of this new story before becoming its hero. These moments successfully capture the feeling of a prologue, and it's another way Showtime smartly plays into its theatrical setting. Much like a real play, each transformation's second act is generally shorter and quicker to the point. None of them overstay their welcome, and if anything, I wish there was an additional stage for each costume to extend the runtime a bit further. Like most Nintendo platformers, the main way to squeeze more out of this adventure is to go for 100% completion, and Showtime sadly stumbles in this department. To its credit, it's packed with shiny things to find, as each level has a handful of sparkle gems and cosmetics to track down. On my initial playthrough, I missed one thing or another in at least half the levels, so there's a lot I could go back to look for. Unfortunately, I honestly don't want to, and that's disappointing to me as someone who typically loves to fully complete Nintendo games. It's because the levels in Showtime are fairly long, often
Okay. Shut up, IGN. Shut up, you damn reviewer. Look, if you like going and completing like 100% in games, especially for a game that's only like an 8-hour long campaign, would it be right to call this a campaign? The main story? If it's only going to be 8 hours to complete the main game, I mean, yeah, it's going to take some time, obviously, go through and complete it, but then, assuming you missed only like half the stuff, go back through it. It'll only take a few hours, and you don't have to do it right away. I can understand for him, maybe because, they had to do this review, so they don't have all the time in the world to be able to go back 100% the game before they can put this review out. That I can 100% understand. But, like, I don't know. It's an 8-hour campaign. It's a Peach game, I guess you could say. In the Mario universe, it's a Mario style game. I feel like it wouldn't be. And it doesn't seem like it's that hard. I mean, if you say the gameplay isn't that hard, and I'm assuming it doesn't ramp up after the game is beaten, then 100%ing it isn't that bad. Like, but I will say I can't understand where he says, I just don't feel like doing it, that I can understand. You know, if you're just not that big a fan of the game, then you're just like, okay, I didn't finish it. That's all right. That's kind of what I am with Jump Force right now. I'm like, I like the game, but I don't know if I like it enough to really sit through and 100% this thing and like really do that, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Yeah, but it is. I sort of understand. I sort of don't. I think if him saying that he doesn't really fully like the game is kind of bringing his bias into it, but like, I understand. Keep hitting my fucking mute button. No.
Reaching the 10-minute mark, with unskippable dialogue and cutscenes that interrupt the action. These flourishes are enjoyable the first time I watched each performance play out, but it's not a great way to encourage repeat visits. I'm not interested in playing through an entire 10-minute segment again just to reach the 30-second portion where I missed a single collectible. Showtime could have huge...
Yeah, but like I said... Okay, I didn't say it. But like, that's almost any game that has levels like this. Like Mario Odyssey, you have to go back... Or not Mario Odyssey. Fucking... Mario Wonder, you have to go back. If you missed one purple coin, you got to go through the whole level to get the purple coin. And that's like basically any Mario platformer game. That's really any platformer. Is if you miss something, you got to go back through the whole thing. Now, it could be because he said the levels took so long, which again, understandable, but at the same time, okay. I don't know. It's a little hard for me to like understand, because I like being a completionist unless I really just am not feeling a game. Like either I really don't like a game where it's just like I really couldn't care to do this, and that's very rare. I really like completing all my games. Like I'm still going through all my old Pokemon games and trying to finish those. It's taking me time, of course. I'm streaming now, doing other stuff, so it's been a bit on hold, but I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to go through all the Skylander games and do those. I'm still on Spyro because I haven't touched it in a few months because I don't have a Wii here, but you know what, it is what it is. Anyways, yeah, I personally like going through it and trying to 100% all the games I play. So, like hearing people say that, oh, I have to go through the whole level, there are 30 and then a 30-second, it's like, it's also only 30 seconds. I can understand if you got a shitload to do it with your time and you got other stuff you'd rather be doing, but if you like gaming and you want to do it, just do it. It's not that bad in reality. Let me continue.
Usually benefited from a chapter select for its longer stages, because as it stands, I don't see myself completing everything this time. And while it doesn't really strike me as a game that shoots for the stars graphically, Showtime sadly serves as a stark reminder of why so many people are ready to move on from the beloved but aging Nintendo Switch. The graphics simply don't always look that great, especially compared to other gorgeous Switch games starring Mario and friends like Super Mario Bros. 1.
Hold on. Hold right there, brother. This is a video I'm gonna make. I think people complain too much about graphics. People complain way too much about graphics. Because, like, I think some people are mistaking an artistic choice over actual graphics. Not actual graphics. Actual, like, overall graphic. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say to separate it. But, like, the Princess Peach art style, obviously it's blurry as shit here just because of my computer. But the game style looks good. The art style looks good. I hear people saying oh, the graphics look shit. Oh, the graphics look terrible. It looks like a PS2, a PS3 game. What if that's just the art style? I mean, people are still making like DS looking games where it's with all the pixel art and stuff. Some people are still making just like Shovel Knight. I mean, obviously Shovel Knight was years ago, but like Shovel Knight came out, that was still like a pixel game. It looks like it was off the DS. and it was a really beloved game. I think it's like an artistic choice that people just don't really like. Because, like, the game, graphically, it looks good. Maybe it's not the art style that I like. Maybe I don't like this art style. Like, I could definitely say I like Super Mario Wonder's art style more than this, but that doesn't mean the graphics are bad. It doesn't mean the graphics are bad. If you want to talk about bad graphics, God, what can I think of? If anybody remembers the Spider-Man 2... one of the first trailers where and it was a trailer in the game, they fixed it, but in like that first trailer where the like the bear dude with the axe, Peter was in the symbiote, it was at the Emily May Foundation, and he was coming out and his model looked very, very bad. It looked like it was straight off a PS2. Like, that I can understand, because like it does not look like it should be in this game at all. Like, it looks like it's coming from a completely different game unintentionally. Like, it looks like it shouldn't be like that in a game, in this game. That's bad graphics. This is an artistic style choice. Now, could I be wrong? Of course, there might just be something I'm not seeing. But I hear this argument so many times, and it annoys me, because I think when people say that, I'd say like 9 times out of 10, they're just looking for something to complain about, because maybe they just don't like the art style, and they just want to complain about it. I've said my piece.
Great, especially compared to other gorgeous Switch games starring Mario and friends like Super Mario Bros. Wonder and Luigi's Mansion 3. Peach herself often looks blurry, and the inconsistent frame rate really pulled me out of the action at times.
I'm going to rescind everything I just said. Okay, that makes sense, because I'm going to rescind everything I just said. No. Okay. If that is the problem that he was talking about, 100% understand that, because I was thinking she looked blurry. So, okay, that's understandable. My apologies, IGN reviewer. I apologize for the rant I just went on.
Frame rate stutters are most prevalent during cutscenes or moments with lots of action, and the performance fails some of Showtime's most exciting bits. I never found these issues to be detrimental to the gameplay itself, but it's jarring how choppy the results screen can be at the end of a level, and even the loading screens chug incredibly hard when you're transitioning from the lobby to the stage. Plus, the sound when Peach jumps is also weirdly crunchy and compressed.
Okay. IGN reviewer, I solemnly swear, I solemnly apologize. That was not directed towards you. You had valid criticisms. You had valid criticisms. I'm very sorry. Because clearly it being blurry was not an artistic style choice. And all the frame drops and lagginess, I apologize. That was not directed towards you now. That is now directed towards other people who say really dumb shit about it.
Best sounding?
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
Almost to the point where I wonder if it's going to be updated after launch. None of this is a deal breaker for me, although I've never been a big stickler for performance, but it's definitely a disappointing distraction. Princess Peach Showtime is more closely aligned with Kirby and Yoshi's simple, cheery romps rather than Mario's polished platformers and Luigi's haunted mansions. There's fun to be found in the Sparkle Theater, as these delightfully simplified takes on some of gaming's most popular genres are entertaining to blast through, and the whimsical stage play aesthetic gives Peach's game an identity all its own. I'm also thrilled that Nintendo is finally giving Peach another crack at her own solo outing after nearly 2 decades, and I hope this is the start of an ongoing spin-off series within the...
Wait, what? Peach had a game before this?
After nearly 2 decades, and I hope this is the start of an ongoing spin-off series within the wider Mario universe.
Wait, did Peach have a game? Did Peach have a game before? I mean, I'm gonna need to look that up. I didn't know Peach had a solo player game. Solo player. A solo game. I mean, maybe I have. I don't remember it, at least.
Some noticeable performance issues and the frustrating lack of a chapter select means I won't be returning for an encore, and I wish there were a few extra levels to lengthen the somewhat brief campaign, but Nintendo and Princess Peach at least know how to put on a good show. For more, check out our reviews of Mario vs. Donkey Kong and Splatoon 3 Side Order. And for everything else, stick with IGN.
Okay. Pretty good review. I always hear stuff about how I always hear about IGN kind of having bad reviews, but that was a pretty good review, I'd say. I still have rice to eat, but I will save it for later. Let me get all this wet condensation off my desk. Yeah, I'm not gonna lay on my bed till later. Okay, let me look this up because I want to see Peach Games Super Princess Peach. Holy sh! Oh, is it? Oh shit! There it was. They weren't lying. Super Princess Peach. They were not lying. Super Princess Peach. Okay. All right. Let me pull it up here. Yeah, I never seen this before. I want to say that's kind of like Paper Mario style, art style. Maybe. Or no, not Paper Mario. The Mario and Luigi games. Okay. Let me update thy stream information. Let me update thy stream information. I think right now we're gonna go check out Niflheim and Muspelheim. Muspelheim? I don't know if I'm ever gonna say that right. Let me actually make sure I'm spelling them right though. God of War. Niflheim. And Muspelheim. Alright.